unfortunately, to a younger generation that had no need to defend men like Aaron Crown. Everyone had always been sure of his guilt. He'd never denied it, had he? Besides, he'd never been one of us. It was early fall, an election year, and each morning after the sun rose out of the swamp and burned the fog away from the flooded cypress trees across the bayou from my bait shop and boat rental business, the sky would harden to such a deep, heart-drenching blue that you felt you could reach up and fill your hand with it like bowls of stained cotton. The air was dry and cool, too, and the dust along the dirt road by the bayou seemed to rise into gold columns of smoke and light through the canopy of oaks overhead. So when I glanced up from sanding the planks on my dock on a Saturday morning and saw Buford LaRose and his wife Karyn jogging through the long tunnel of trees toward me, they seemed like part of a photograph in a health magazine, part of an idealized moment caught by a creative photographer in a depiction of what's called the New South, rather than an oddity, far removed from the refurbished plantation home in which they lived 25 miles away. I convinced myself they hadn't come to see me, that forcing them to stop their run out of reasons of politeness would be ungenerous on my part, and I set down my sanding machine and walked toward the bait shop. "Hello," I heard Buford call. Your past comes back in different ways. In this case, it was in the form of Karyn LaRose, her platinum hair sweat-soaked and piled on her head, her running shorts and purple and gold Mike the Tiger t-shirt glued to her body like wet Kleenex. "How y'all doing?" I replied, my smile as stiff as ceramic. "Aaron Crown called you yet?" Buford asked, resting one hand on the dock railing, pulling one ankle up toward his muscular thigh with the other. "How'd you know?" I said. "He's looking for soft-hearted guys to listen to his story." Buford grinned, then winked with all the confidence of the 80-yard passing quarterback he'd been at LSU 20 years earlier. He was still lean-stomached and narrow-waisted, his chest flat like a prizefighter's, his smooth, wide shoulders olive with tan, his curly brown hair bleached on the tips by the sun. He pulled his other ankle up behind him, squinting at me through the sweat in his eyebrows. "Aaron's decided he's an innocent man," he said. "He's got a movie company listening to him. Starting to see the big picture. He gets a dumb cop to plead his cause," I said. "I said soft-hearted," he said, his face beaming now. "Why don't you come see us more often, Dave?" Karyn asked. "That sounds good," I said, nodding, my eyes wandering out over the water. She raised her chin, wiped the sweat off the back of her neck, looked at the sun with her eyelids closed, and pursed her lips and breathed through them, as though the air were cold. Then she opened her eyes again and smiled good-naturedly, leaning with both arms on the rail and stretching her legs one at a time. "Y'all want to come in for something to drink?" I asked. "Don't let this guy jerk you around, Dave," Buford said. "Why should I?" "Why should he call you in the first place?" "Who told you this?" I asked. "His lawyer." "Sounds like shaky legal ethics to me," I said. "Give me a break, Dave," he replied. "If Aaron Crown ever gets out of Angola, the first person he's going to kill is his lawyer. That's after he shoots the judge. How do we know all this? Aaron called up the judge, collect, mind you, and told him so." They said goodbye and resumed their jog, running side by side past the sprinklers spinning among the tree trunks in my front yard.